Do we now have a fully finished house and 30 acres? Let's discuss. Alright guys, I've been working on the tiny house. I got it close to the bedroom because I don't want you to see what I'm doing, but I'm going to give you a sneak peek at something that's not drywall. Oh yes, we got some quarter lap, half lap is, what do we call this here? Southern yellow pine, nickelback, shiplap, nickelback? Look at this photograph. So yeah, I'm taking that and drywall and the insulation and been working in here. So that's that for now, but you clicked on this video for a reason. So there are rumors going around. People are commenting. Some locals that don't like me are trying to expose what is happening around here. So did we buy our neighbor's property with a finished house and 20 acres. As you guys know, we purchased 10 acres. It was a year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever that was. And there was a lot on the corner, and those neighbors are amazing. There's a lot between us and the neighbors on the corner. No one's there. They own it. Someone owns it, but they don't use it. And then it's our 10 acres and then 20 acres that our neighbors built a house on that we may have bought. And then there is another 40 acres where a guy just hunts and stuff. So as you guys know, we started building a barn and everything on this side, and we fenced it off next to our neighbor's property. So we had talked to them before they even built and did anything, and we said, hey, if you ever decide you want to sell, will you please let us know first, because we're the neighbors, and how often does your neighbor's property come up for sale? Well, they built a barn dominium, they got it hired out, did all that stuff, 1,500 square feet, very, very nice. And for the price to get 20 acres and the house and then this whole area, it was a horse rodeo roping arena, but they cleared it out, so a big area that maybe we could put our animals or do a dirt bike track or something. Did we purchase our neighbor's property, and do we now have a fully finished house and 30 acres? Let's discuss. Boom. Are we sitting in our forever home? No, this is the house in town that we've always had. So I wanted to come back so Danielle could be a part of this. I didn't want to have to talk about it all myself. We got a lot to discuss.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on this channel. And Reagan's not on this channel a lot either.
No, it has been a minute, to say the least. And we haven't been posting as much. So hopefully this will really let you guys know where we're at. But she is conked out. I was just holding her and we passed her off multiple times. She is out.
Yeah.
So maybe before the end of this she'll wake up and you guys can see her better. But like I said, we got the call from our neighbor and was like, hey, we are going to put up our place for sale. We're looking for some more pasture for our horses. You guys told me if I was going to sell to let you know. And
anytime, if you have land, anytime the neighbors might be selling,
yeah,
you want to know first.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's always like a neighbor's dream, is always thinking, man, if I were to buy that or have this land or whatever, y'all know how it is. And if you don't, that's crazy to me if you don't think that, because I think that all the time.
Yeah.
I've been that way my whole life. But so we bought the property at the same time they did, all wooded. Theirs was all wooded, and they ended up hiring out and putting in a 30 by 50 barndominium, and it's
very nice.
Nice. They did a very good job. Whoever they hired for the drywall, I need the number. They literally did it very, very well. And so whenever he first asked, I was like, Danielle, what would you think? And you guys know that we're trying to do everything as debt-free as possible and all this stuff.
That's immediately first thought is like, oh, but then that means we would have to take out mortgage.
Yeah.
And we're trying to go debt-free.
Yeah.
But then you start thinking about it.
We're like, then I don't have to build no more. Then we could just pay the mortgage instead of hundreds and thousands of dollars every month to get it, and we could be comfortable. Would this be the right decision for us? And so we talked about it, and you guys know Coffee Crockers. I've been stressing this is part of the equation, and I was like, for the asking price, everything nowadays is very expensive, but for the asking price to have a finished out house and 20 more acres, we'd have 30 acres total. Well, what are we going to do with our big house that we've been building, and would our tiny house go to waste?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
I have worked too hard for that tiny house to go to waste. But we started thinking, we're like, well, if we do purchase this house, we can move in. We will be out there all the time because clearly would have a nice, comfortable place. And then we'll turn the big house that we've been working on into a shop.
And then the tiny house will be
a guest house, like it was going to end up being anyways.
So that doesn't really change.
No. So we started doing the math of what it would be to turn it into a shop and make the front, instead of putting the doors and windows and stuff, we would just cut it out different, put in bay doors, like garage doors, and it would be perfect. It would be absolutely perfect for us to have. It would be Shoot Dang Ranch version 2.0, because we would have different sections, like our fun section, and then we'd have our house, and we just started really thinking about it, and we're like, I think this might actually be a really, really good idea. But we always write list, and this isn't for this is a list for other stuff, but I got stuff like that. You try to pause it, you ain't gonna be able to see it. We do pros and cons lists for everything we do now. We've learned, unfortunately, at Shoot Dang Ranch, that some things are better, they look better on paper than they do in real life. So we started kind of figuring out, all right, is this the right decision for us? Are we better off trying to keep doing it debt-free? How much longer do you think it's going to take? And all that stuff. And really, if you think about it, it's not a bad price to get 20 more acres and a fully finished house for how much it's going to be to turn our house into a house, finish this tiny house, and do everything that we're going to do. Yeah. So we really, really, truly thought about it. And ironically, I had just picked up some materials, and I drove out there, and as I was pulling up in the gate, a vehicle pulled out of the neighbor's property. And I told Danielle, I said, I think I saw people looking at it the other day. That would suck if someone comes in and buys it before we do. So this truck pulls up and stops and says, hey, are you the owner of this property? And I said, yes, ma'am. And she's like, oh, well, I have clients that are going to put an offer on your neighbor's property. How's the neighborhood? How's this? How's that? And I was very honest. I said, we're probably the worst people around here because our dogs, we're getting out and whatever. We finally figured that situation out. But I said, this is a great place. I said, we like the area so much, we're going to put it on an offer. And she was like, oh, no, that type of thing. And then started talking, and she's like, yeah, so the neighbor's property, like my clients want to have horses, like they're going to want a barn and a shop and this and that, because the neighbor's property only has a house on it. And I said, jokingly, for the right price, you could buy our property. And they would have a barn and a shop and fence and everything that we would do if we were to buy the neighbor's property. And an hour later, she's taking pictures of our property and sending it to her client, and they were very interested in buying our property. And I told Danielle,
so then that opens a whole
different avenue.
Yeah.
A completely different avenue.
Yeah.
And so, as you guys know in Call the Crockers, I've been stressing. Do we buy the neighbor's property? Do we sell our property to the person that's going to buy it, make a profit instantly because we owe zero on that property? We would just have a massive lump sum of money. And then do we start over and buy land again and start from fresh? Do we do whatever? And we both said, heck no. we will not ever buy straight woods again and start fresh. Not for our forever home, at least. Maybe down the future we might buy wooded land for like fun or something, but I would never in a million years do that again unless we won the lottery and we could buy just like hundreds of acres somewhere. So
we were like, do we sell and buy something that's already finished?
Yeah. So do we buy something that's finished? The thing with that now is prices have gone up. If we were to be able to start fresh somewhere else, do we stay in Bristow? We have nothing holding us to Bristow. The only reason we randomly found Shoot Dang Ranch online and we went and got the property. And then we bought the other new property we have now because it was just convenient. It was there.
Easy to move.
Yeah, why not? Like, Bristow's not a bad town. It's not the best town in the world. It's small, it's tiny, doesn't have a lot to offer, but we do like smaller town stuff. And so it was just more of, what do we do? So I'm freaking out. Do we move closer here? Because your family that is in the area lives all right here. And do we move back to this area? Well, I say back. We have the house here, this house. We're not going to live in this house forever because we want a little bit of land. We want, that type of stuff. Great house, nothing wrong with it. Mortgage rates were amazing when you got this. Mortgage rates right now are not the best, but
they're better.
I was gonna say, historically speaking, they're not bad. We just went through some years in the U.S. of great mortgage rates, but what do we do? And I started in Coffee the Crocker, started saying things to you guys of, I'm stressed. What would you guys think if we did this, if we did that? Well, there are now rumors of, truly, why don't you tell everyone you're going to buy the neighbor's property? I know the neighbors. They told me, I'm going to put in a cash offer and buy it, this and that. First off, if we ever had a creepy person from YouTube try to buy the neighbor's property, I would move in a heartbeat. I don't care. If someone's willing to buy it to live next to us, I am moving. I do not care.
It's already creepy enough to make the name and comment stuff
under her name that they're doing, and it's very weird.
And then to like buy it, it's just
creepy. We're not playing that game. And so it's like I've been telling you on Coffee the Crockers, we're not hiding anything from anybody. We're not doing anything. It's like literally the last Coffee the Crockers was me saying we don't tell people what our moves are until they've happened, because if it doesn't happen, people will get upset if you change plans or whatever. And we're not buying the neighbor's property. We're not doing it. It's just not.
It ended up just, I don't know.
It wasn't meant for us. And we're really big believers in something will happen in the right way, for the right reason, at the right time, and it will be meant to be. And literally, that property sold very fast. Houses on the market now are on there for 100, 200, 300 days. It's insane. And this house sold almost instantly. And we would be taking out a mortgage if we were to do it. We're not going to try to throw down hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're just not going to do that. And I was bummed at first. I was very bummed that it sold, because how awesome would that be to be in a finished house? And we would have our land connected to it, and then we just open up the fence, and then we're good. I mean, we started already daydreaming about where we'd put barbecue pits by the house and how we would do the backyard for the dogs and all sorts of stuff. And I was pretty bummed, but then I'm not, because I know everything happens for a reason. And at this point, we still could sell our 10 acres and everything we've done for a nice profit to somebody that's interested. And we're not saying that we're not going to do that, but we're not saying we're going to do that. What I can say, and I think we could say wholeheartedly, is we will do what?
Finish the tiny house.
We are finishing the tiny house. And you guys know that we have taken a little bit of a break trying to figure the schedule out and everything and all that. We're going to finish this tiny house. And whether we sell the whole property and move to Florida and live on a houseboat, because that's a dream of ours someday, or whatever, this tiny house is going to be finished. And I am going to try my absolute hardest to make it the nicest tiny house ever, because because I am very prideful. I don't know if that'd be the right word. I have a lot of pride in what I'm doing with that house, and I'm very excited with the way it's coming out and the whole story behind everything. It's going to be finished. And yes, we did think about buying our neighbor's property. Yes, we did think about moving. Yes, we may move in the future. But as of right now, our priority is number 1, number 2, us, and number 3, finishing that tiny house. So hopefully that kind of clears up a little bit of why I've been stressed lately, why I haven't been posting as much. And then also, one is just we're trying to figure it all out with just the schedules and stuff. But I think we made the right decision. I think the right decisions were made even if some of it was out of our hands with the selling quick. And just the sole fact that we know that people would be interested in buying our property and having a profit makes us feel good to know that our hard work has truly paid off, because someone can look at it and be willing to throw down a nice chunk of change for something that we worked very hard for. And I think that's the biggest compliment that you can have when you build something with your own 2 hands. And so just the sole fact of that happening made my day. It was just such an honor that someone would be interested in spending their hard-earned cash on something that we did with literally our blood, sweat, and tears. So I don't know if you have anything else you'd like to add to any of that.
I don't think so.
I think
you covered it all.
Yeah, I think it sums it up. And no, we are not buying it. Yes, we are taking care of Reagan, number 1. Number 2 is just us, our family. And number 3, the tiny house.
Which the 2 and 3 kind of blend together because that could be us being together more.
Yes.
So it's very, very much so the tiny house is important.
Yes. No one ever knows what the future is going to hold.
Yeah.
But we do know that tiny house is going to look freaking sweet very soon, because we're going to finish it.